that blue line was basically down here 10 years prior, because these areas were in that poor condition. So the multi-paddock was greater than the low continuous, not by much, but significantly different. And the total amount of carbon in that 4 foot of soil was 3 tons of carbon per hectare per year, compared to the heavy continuous grazing. So that's a lot of extra carbon getting into the soil. For those of you who in acres, 1.2 tons per acre per year. That's an awful lot of extra carbon coming in, and we'll revisit that, the importance of that in a minute. So this is the net effect. Here's your grazing managements. The organic matter, much higher there, intermediate and low. The nutrients, what we can measure, but these have little bearing on if you've got a healthy microbial population, you've actually got much more than your chemical extraction of the soil will show. But this is the important thing from an agriculturalist point of view. Who would like to be here? Everybody realizes that this is where you really want to be, because you've allowed more water to get in the ground, and the fungi and stuff like that will retain the water in the ground, but improved structure you get. So this is really where you need to be managing for, to make things work for you in a living. So our research shows that regenerative grazing, managing so you achieve regenerative goals, improves the ecological function and profitability. And the more numbers of paddocks you have, facilitates doing all the good things and minimizes all the bad things that happen. So the more paddocks you've got out there, the better the results you can achieve. Short periods of grazing with adequate recovery give the greatest profit and ecological function. Adjusting regenerative multi-paddock grazing with changing conditions increases ecological function and profitability. In a dry year, you don't keep the same period of recovery as you do in a wet year. It's going to be half in a wet year compared to a dry year. And the next point is part of that. If you have a fixed protocol, like year in, year out, you're resting for 60 days, recovery for 60 days, compared to changing from 40 to 90, there's a big difference in the results you achieve, because it affects the plants, it affects the drivers of the whole system a lot. So you've got to follow rules that make changing things work for you. Not difficult. Most of the people who are succeeding at this haven't got fancy degrees or anything. These are regular folk who just understand what to do. One of the best managers, Robbie Tuggle, just across the way here with the Dixon Foundation, got a high school education. One of the best grazing managers. Profitability decreases if the recovery is too short, negatively impacting your recovery, or if it's too long, because although you're growing lots of grass, it switches over to reproductive and the nutrients drop off. So there's a sweet spot in the middle that you've got to watch. You can see with your eye. You know when you've gone too far or if you haven't done it enough. You've just got to know how to actually implement it. Regenerative management ameliorated the effect of increasing stocking rate. So with many paddocks, you can have a much higher stocking rate and still achieve all your regenerative goals. And it improves the cash flow a lot. So, let's just come back to, these are the things that you do. Flexible stocking, spread grazing, moderate grazing, short graze periods, allow recovery, graze again before forage mature, adaptively changing to prevailing conditions, and the use of multiple livestock species. My research hasn't directly dealt with other things like sheep and goats. But if you have other animals in there, for instance, the people who are using sheep really are, A, they cash flow very well, and B, they eat what people consider weeds. So you've got a free resource there that's not competing with the cattle, and you don't have a weed problem. Works real well, and as I say, they cash flow really well. So the failure to get positive results. Too many animals before the soil is recovered. Manage to improve and then improve your animals. So you let your progress dictate moving ahead. You've got to make sure you've got an adequate stock watering system. And you can get help. The government will help you with that sort of thing. It's important. You've got to plan your grazing. every year you've got to sit down with a grazing plan and say, right, if we have an average year, this is the way I'm going to move through my ranch. But if it's drier than normal, you better figure out, okay, what am I doing? I'm increasing the length of periods of recovery because that's what it's going to take. Can I actually manage it? And if it's wetter, what am I going to do? The reason you do this at the beginning of the year is when you're in that drought, you can't think straight. You're in a blue funk. You've got to know and write it down. And you say, okay, it's dry now. What was my plan? Okay, this is how you do it. That's just good management. Save yourself a lot of trouble. You must adapt as conditions change. Both the amount of rain you're getting in there and when the rain comes and when it doesn't come. You've got to have flexibility and change according to your guiding rule is what am I doing with those 4 ecosystem functions? Am I improving them with this decision I'm going to make or not? Have long grazing periods. The animals are in there long enough and they can go back and re-graze those plants that they want to that are close to the water, etc. So that's what's going to keep you from improving. Inadequate recovery is a major problem. And some people try and expect good results when it's not possible. An example, in South Texas, people on soil that's this deep, thinking that they can actually have huge increases. No, you can have some increases, but there's a limit set there. So you must know your land. The NRCS has got wonderful data that you can use. You can go up and pull up the soil for your particular property. They will tell you what should be there, what can't be there, and use that information. It's really useful. Okay. Now, this is a large watershed near Wichita Falls, down to Denton. They've been measuring the outflow here and the amount of soil that's coming through that system for over 90 years. So we took our information. These are some of the ranches we've been working with there. The green is native grazing land, and the yellow is wheat mostly. So it's mostly a grazing situation all the way through there. The NRCS had cattle numbers from this period, from 1980 to date, on every single property in there. So we used the ARS watershed model, and we put those numbers in, and we had either continuous heavy grazing, or continuous light grazing, or we had a rest system in there where the model would actually move the animals through according to the rules we put into it. So what are the results? Red is the surface runoff, and blue is groundwater, heavy continuous. The runoff is a lot higher than the amount that actually went into the ground. The light continuous grazing these were about the same. You know, those bars show that it's significantly different to right. The amount of paddock grazing, the amount that went into the soil was way more than actually ran off. And the area that wasn't grazed, the same. So you've got to be careful though, because the people who don't like cows say, yes, we told you. You don't graze and you have a really good result. Yeah, but that's only one result. Remember when I said the one good thing about resting was you get the water in the ground, but what's happening to your other 3 ecosystem functions? The mineral cycling, biodiversity and stuff, is way, way low. Most people want all those other things. The general population want all those other things, even though they don't like cows. So you've got to keep that in mind. So let's switch now from a native grazing type situation to high density grazing where you've got cultivated pastures and that sort of thing. Look at that. This is one of the best guys in the business. He changes fence, he moves daily, but he's so efficient now that these are the rods. He just drives down and basically as quickly as you can walk. He'll stick those rods in the ground while he's sitting on his tractor. He just grabs it and sticks it in the ground, and it sticks in the ground. So 200 acres he can put in fence with, say, 3 subdivisions in it for the week ahead in about half an hour. And he says the return per hour on that amount of work of moving a fence like that is about $400 an hour, according to the improvements of his productivity before he started and where he is now. The way he does it This is Livy's land. This is a crest up here, and that's lowland there, and lowland here. That's a slough down there. And he's put a corridor in here that goes back to the water, and he moves these animals down there, so they'll move into there and they'll graze that one during for one day. Next day, there's 3, and then you'll do there, and you move through the area like that. Real simple. You can operate on this from 50 acres up to 50,000 acres. This is really scalable. You just got to make it work for your particular circumstances. What's the benefit? He has increased his infiltration capacity compared to where he started by more than 8-fold. And he's increased the amount of carbon. You see the color difference in these soils? That's after 6 years. You can see the difference. And we measured the carbon on here. The organic matter here is around about 4% up here. It's up close to 10% there after these number of years. The benefits that accrue from that in terms of extra productivity is gigantic. So this is what he's got. He's got lots of species mix. Look at all this earthworm activity. A healthy earthworm activity will put more fertility in the ground than people normally put on a corn production system. And it's healthy. It's all organic. It's not inorganic. So the critters are in there that can actually provide all the fertility you need at no cost. Just good management that put that. South Dakota, Gabe Brown is one of the leading operators. This is an area here, 16-inch rainfall area near Bismarck. And this area, it was nearly 100 degrees that day, three years ago. And the neighbors across there, you could see that they were in a drought. This was at midday, and there was no sign of drought on him, because he managed in a way that he managed to get 8 times as much water in the ground as his neighbors. So he was way better off. So this is a cattle, I took a picture there, I turned and took a picture of the cattle that had just been moved in. They'll graze there for a day, and then they'll move on.